Good morning, everybody, and to those of you viewing us from online. It's really nice to be here. My name is Joanne, and I'm the host with Reverend David.
You know, the unity movement embraces the inherent worth and diversity of every individual, fostering an environment of acceptance and respect for all people, without distinction of any kind. We come together to encourage and support one another in our individual spiritual journeys. And so wherever you are in that process, we're glad you've joined us today.
While this is a well-traveled land, we would like to respectfully acknowledge that the land in which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi peoples. We are grateful to work, learn, and live in this area. And I'd like to introduce our musician for today, Angela Chaka, and I'm very happy to have you with us today.
And I'm very happy to have Joanne here with us and doing the hosting. And I would like to ask her to open us in prayer.
I can do that. So just take a nice breath and feel yourself sitting in your seat. We are one with God. Feeling at one with God begins with deep faith in God's presence and power in our life and in the universe. This faith means we feel God as close as our heartbeat and as near as our next breath. Whether we are in nature, perhaps walking through a forest, or strolling along the seashore on a bustling city street, we sense the presence of God everywhere. Oneness with God means being at peace with life. It is a harmony we feel in the company of others and the contentment we feel in times of solitude. It is our tranquil mind, full heart, and empowerment and freedom of knowing the awesome creative power of the universe, always ours to draw upon. Faith that source dwells within every star, tree, and being keeps us blissful, awash in the ocean of divine goodness, everywhere present. And so it is.
And so it is. Today, Susan, you're our prayer chaplain today. Our prayer chaplain today is Susan Fabreau. She's right back here. If you'll stand up, Susan. So she is available for prayer directly after the service in our prayer chapel upstairs. So if you would like to have someone pray with you, Susan will be the person today. So thank you, Susan, for being of service in this way. Thank you so much.
As well, we have our prayer request box, which was right here off the altar. And what you do is you can just fill out a slip. There's piece of paper there, and you can put them in the box. And the prayer chaplain team will hold these requests in prayers with you. I'd also like to remind everybody about our Silent Unity, and that's an online service 24/7 hours a day, and it's prayer support. And the number is phone 1-800-NOW-PRAY.
Well, now it's time for our first song, and so I invite you, if you're willing and you're able, to stand up, and we will sing a couple of songs.
Excellent, yes. Good morning, everyone. Our first song is Gathering in Song. Oh, sorry. We are gathering in song, welcoming the oneness, opening the doors of spirit wide. Oh, sorry, everyone. We're too far out.
Too far high up, huh?
Sorry. Let's restart that. I really appreciate you all. Okay. It's ASAP, okay? Here we go. We are gathering in song, welcoming the oneness, opening the doors of spirit wide. We are walking into light, starting out together on a journey through the miracles inside. There is abundance in our fellowship. This is a place we all belong. We place our trust in this great holiness. This is the moment, come along. We are gathering in song, welcoming the oneness, opening the doors of spirit wide. We are gathering to light, starting out together on a journey through the miracles inside. There is a promise in our thankfulness. We know that when we seek, we find. We place our trust in this great holiness. This sacred space is yours and mine. We are gathering in song, welcoming the oneness, opening the doors of spirit wide. We are walking into light, starting out together on a journey through the miracles inside. On a journey through the miracles inside. Opening the doors of spirit wide. We are walking into light, starting out together on a journey through the miracles inside. On a journey through the miracles inside. Thanks, everyone. Our next song is the healing song. Every cell. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I appreciate you all so much. Sorry. Okay, it starts right away as well. Didn't realize. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Let's go. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Peace, peace fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. God fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. God fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. One more. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. I allow spirit to do what it does. I much. You may be seated.
Thank you, Angelica.
Yeah, thank you. Good job. Good recovery. Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor is a progressive spiritual center that emphasizes personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. As part of the New Thought and the worldwide unity movement, we strive to be compassionate, inclusive, open-minded, service-oriented, abundant, and spirit-filled.
Unity teaches that each person is a unique, individual expression of God. Our realization of that truth evolves as we expand our consciousness through prayer and meditation. Unity emphasizes that we create our experience of life according to the thoughts and the feelings that we hold in our minds. Affirmative prayer is the highest form of creative thought, while meditation stills the mind and heightens our awareness of our oneness with Spirit, each other, and all of life. And so living from that awareness transforms us and transforms our world. Well, now it is time for us to recognize our seminar team. So every other week we just are letting our different volunteer teams come forward so we can recognize them and honor them. We have such a wonderful Annette. Come on up front. Annette is the team leader for our seminar team. And I'm going to let her use your.
Sure, absolutely.
And Annette, I'm going to ask you to just sort of introduce your team and tell us what you do.
For sure. Okay, come with me this way. Yep, just push me a little bit more. Okay, Reverend David, you must come with us.
Oh, yes, okay.
Okay, so everybody come on up. All right. Hi. Okay, welcome to almost everybody who's in the seminar committee. So my name is Annette Demers. Reverend David very kindly introduced me to the seminar committee and invited me to participate. So thank you so much for that opportunity. I really appreciate it. We're also missing Shirley McGinn, who ran the seminar committee for some long amount of time that I don't know the details of, because I've only been with it for a year. But these guys have been operating as a dream team for a long time. So Shirley McGinn missing, and then Judy Chandler is my right-hand woman for the setup and takedown. We also have Sean Sharkey, who's always been a dedicated member of the committee as well, making his excellent contributions throughout. And we have Tim Eckert. He knows his role every time we do a seminar. He's right there with us, working hard on it, and greeting everyone with a smile. And we are also missing Ken Hart at this moment, so maybe we could just take a couple seconds to close our eyes and think about Ken, who had a secondary eye surgery on Friday. So he's going to need as much good energy as we can give him. So I'm going to close my eyes and count to 30. So this year, the seminar committee offered a number of exciting workshops that we learned a lot from, and we had a lot of excellent speakers. So I'm not going to name them all because I don't think I'll remember all of them, but we've learned a lot, and we had a lot of fantastic participation to come into the seminars. We started with some brainstorming in January to find out what people were actually interested in coming out to, and we've had a successful slate of seminars ever since. We are currently planning a compassionate communication series with Mariette and Susan Fabro. Those will likely be happening maybe in January now. So we have a meeting coming up and we'll keep you posted. But also stay tuned for more brainstorming that will take place in January again. And this is the team. So please help me say thank you to everybody. in public. Thank you. I'm giving you a hug in public. Okay, and I'm done with the mic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Annette, thank you so much for heading this up, and you've done just an excellent job. We're so glad to have you. Thank you. But thank you all.
So our affirmation for September is, I am a responsible, trustworthy, free agent of spirit. Will you affirm that with me, please?
I am a responsible, trustworthy, free agent of spirit. And now it's time for a special piece of music by our very own Angelica.
Thank you. One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable. Feel it every single way. Call it God, call it Jesus, call it Spirit, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baula, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to sleep that such differences were never meant to be. Call it God, call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baula, angels' wings or heaven's door. It's your Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. It's the power of the love forever in you and me. One power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy and inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birth of all creation. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's a love that's most deep. It's one power, one power, one power. What we are is
Thank you all so much. Thank you so much.
That's a Daniel Nahmod song, and you do it so
Oh,
well.
cheers. Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Reverend
it's a
David.
beautiful song. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, good to see all of you. And we have several first-time visitors here, so welcome. We're so glad to have you here. And I welcome also those who are joining us online. So I like what Mariette does. If you'll turn, we're looking at that camera there. If you just turn around and just wave, say welcome. And that's to all of those that are watching online. So welcome to you too. You know, in the beginning when God was creating all the countries and it was Canada's turn, he turned to his angels and said, "This country will have unmatched beauty, plenty of natural resources, and its citizens will be the happiest and friendliest in the world." The angels looked at each other and they looked at God and they asked, "Aren't you blessing this country a little too much?" And God replies, "Wait until you see who their neighbor is." I just found that this morning. I really thought it was funny. Being one of the neighbors, you know. So, I believe that the most transformative element of any spiritual teaching is its basics, its fundamentals. It's the fundamentals that are the most impactful. It is the basic elements of a teaching that hold the true power to transform lives. I believe that the power of the unity movement is in our 5 basic unity principles. And they are the foundation upon which we build our spiritual practice. In unity, we define principle as a rule or a law that never changes. A spiritual fact or constant, if you will, that applies to all people, everywhere, and all the time. For every year, I do a series on our 5 principles so that we can look at our principles more in depth, so that we might better incorporate those principles in our life. As our 5th unity principle states, and sums it up very well, knowledge of these principles, spiritual principles, is not enough. We must live them. There is no power in an unlived principle. Let me repeat that. There is no power in an unlived principle. We give life to it. Although principles never change, our understanding of them grows as we do. The more we engage with the principle and the more we explore it, the more active and alive it becomes. Fully engaging in it dramatically shifts our understanding. So I have a question for you that I want you to give some thought to. What would your life be like if you approached everything as if God is all there is? Let me repeat that. What would your life be like if you approached everything as if God is all there is? We'll get back to that later. So while each of the 5 principles that form the foundation of all of our unity teachings, each of them is impactful, our first principle is the most well-known and most important, in my opinion. It is the foundation on which all of the other principles rest. Over the years, the wording has changed, and each Unity Center around the globe has their own preferred way of expressing it. Leo, would you put the first slide up, please? So here is a slide showing the different ways our first principles have been expressed over time and in other Unity Centers. So the simplest is God is absolute good, everywhere present. God is all good and active in everything and everywhere. God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. And then that last one, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence. That was the unity principle that I've used mostly. That was the principle that I used in my my last my home church. That is the one that we used. This last one here is often recited in unity centers just across the globe every Sunday. But I began using another one. Would you show me the second one here? There is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life. God the good omnipotence. And sit with that for a moment. Notice the difference. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. Or now compare it, there is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life. Do you feel a shift? Do you feel a difference between these two wordings? So let's look a little deeper at our first principle. What about this word God? What do you believe about God? Does the term God even work for you? Do you prefer spirit, light, love, source, divine mind, or another word? If you do, use it. Use the word you are comfortable with. The word God is no more God than the word peach is a peach. If a person is hungry and asks you for food, you don't give him a cookbook. The word God is a concept that points to a reality beyond words. As you have heard me say before, there are as many concepts of God as there are people. Use the word that best works for you and realizing that the word is not it. At the same time, our concepts of God do matter. They are like computer software running in the background. We need to be aware of the hidden concepts and our interpretations of those concepts that are lurking in the recesses of our minds. There is only one presence and one power. There is nothing but God, nothing but an energy of infinite love, always working with us to guide us in our spiritual work of bringing the kingdom of heaven into tangible expression through our creative choices. That energy of divine love has no boundaries, no limits, no tangible form. It doesn't just hang out in a place called heaven, watching its creation from afar. It is intimately one with creation. It is everywhere. It is everything. Only one presence and one power. Nothing other than God exists in ultimate reality. Spirit has no opposite. As the one presence, it is spirit that is living in you, living in me, living in everyone and everything. The trees, the flowers, the clouds, the sun, the moon, the neighbor's dog that wakes you up at night, and the family member who so easily irritates you are, according to principle, spirit. You are spirit having a human experience. And this is true regardless of whether we know it or act like it. So as the one power, God is not only everything you see, but also the power behind everything you do. Whether it is washing the dishes, beating the heart while you sleep, or birthing the universe, Spirit is behind all of it. It's not a different power for each example, but the one and only power of all. The same power that created life, all of life, can also be used to take life, as well as to accomplish mundane tasks. Active as the universe and as my life. This presence and power is active. It doesn't just sit idly by. It's always loving, always creating. Even when we are not consciously creating, Spirit is. It is active as my life, as the universe, and everything. Wherever we look, God is. God are good in omnipotence, all-powerful good, inherent good. No lack of recognition can diminish the good. It is unlimited. How are you doing in living this principle? God is all there is. That unconditionally loving presence that birthed everything and is expressing as everyone is present everywhere at all time. Are you feeling it? Are you recognizing that truth? Are you living that truth? At the core of every person, there is God. In the midst of every situation, Spirit. How much of our lives do we approach in that way? And I return to the question that I asked you earlier in my talk. What would your life be like if you approached everything as if God is all there is? Are you seeing some gaps? Don't judge yourself, just notice. So the real work starts when we hold up our beliefs, thoughts, and actions to this expanded understanding of the principle. How well do they align? Your beliefs, your thoughts, your actions with that principle. Where am I doing really well embodying the principle? And where do I see a gap I need to bridge? This part of the process is fertile ground for self-judgment and metaphysical malpractice. At times, seeing far off from our thoughts, seeing how far off some of our thoughts and our actions and beliefs are from principle can be shocking and it can be unsettling. Our intention here is to notice, not to judge. By noticing and lovingly accepting what we notice, we empower ourselves to change. To the degree that we resist or refuse to see where we are misaligned, we limit our freedom to choose anew and grow. Finally, through our spiritual practices such as love, introspection, compassion, and self-forgiveness, we can release those actions, judgments, and beliefs that don't align with the principle, and we can begin to establish a new, empowering way of being that can help us to live in greater alignment with spiritual truth. Most of us rarely approach life with this principle forefront in our minds. The two main reasons for this is lack of awareness and lack of an easy-to-use spiritual tools that we can apply in an instant to bring ourselves back into alignment with the principle. So hopefully you now have a bit more awareness of the gaps that you need to bridge. Now let's look at some of the tools that we can use. So this past week, I was preparing this talk and I ran across an article in Unity magazine entitled Living the First Principle. It was showed up just at the right time. It's a great article by Ben Jameson, who was a divine science minister, a speaker, and a coach. He's also the author of the book Church-Free Spirituality. It was a very good article, and I put it in our newsletter in our inspirational corner. It's a link that you can go to and read the article. So in the article, Ben listed 3 tools for transformation to help us align with our first principle. So the first tool is love. God is all there is, and God is unconditional love. That means that we too are unconditional love. We are at our most aligned when we are practicing loving. And love isn't just something that we fall in and out of, but a practice that we can courageously engage in. With people, we can practice seeing the loving essence at the core of their being. Ben calls this existence level loving. I love you simply because you exist. I don't look at what you've said or done or what you didn't do or didn't say. I blind myself to all of that and simply recognize that according to this principle, God is all there is. As such, God is present at the core of every person. I may have a hard time loving your personality, and I may be unable to love certain actions, but I can always love spirit. The good omnipotence, God itself, the one presence and one power, exists as everyone. And as we practice finding that spiritual center in each person and loving that, regardless of anything else, we align ourselves with love and bring the first unity principle into play. If we find ourselves needing to realign with this principle in a particular situation, we can start with loving the people involved. Ben says we can look for where love is present in the situation and acknowledge it. We can find even unconscious acts of love to focus on. And if not, perhaps we are being called to bring love to the situation. How can I be the presence of love in this situation? So the next time you find yourself in an unpleasant situation with others, consciously bring your loving presence with you and watch what happens. The second spiritual tool is introspection. This principle tells us that good is present everywhere, in every situation, no matter what. This can be tough to swallow, especially in traumatic experiences. But notice that the principle does not say that every situation or circumstance is good. It doesn't say that. It says that there can be good had in any situation or circumstance. This good isn't guaranteed. It is up to us to seek, find, and embody the good. We can ask ourselves, what is this experience here to teach me? How can I grow through this? Perhaps we're being taught the art of surrender. Maybe we're being shown how powerful we are. Possibly we're looking at the neon sign pointing us to a long-held judgment we're ready to release, or a long-held grievance we're ready to forgive. No one can tell you what your possibilities for growth are in any situation. You must uncover them for yourself and discover how to shift your focus from the negative to the affirmative and align with principle and move through the circumstance more gracefully and more quickly. And our third tool is compassion and self-forgiveness. Working with principle requires us to look deeply at our thoughts, our beliefs, and actions with an unwavering willingness to see and accept ourselves just as we are. You know, it can be an eye-opening experience to see ourselves just as we are. Although it may sometimes be difficult, it's well worth the effort. When you set out to bring the first principle with you, everywhere you go as an active practice, you'll forget often. I know I do. You'll fail a lot also. And here's the thing, it's okay to forget, it's okay to fail. Compassion is the key. You will never berate yourself into compliance or shame yourself out of old ways of being. Instead, open your compassionate heart to yourself. Forgive your false beliefs. Forgive yourself for judging yourself as a failure because you didn't show up the way you intended. As you do so, you'll be able to let go of old ways, of being much more rapidly so that you can establish a new life in this powerful principle. So remember, the most important part, there is only one presence and one power. It is unconditional love, omnipotent good, whole, complete, perfect in every way. As the only life that exists, it is the life you live. You are that unconditional love. You are that omnipotent good. You are the power that birthed the universe. And you can use that power to create a life beyond your dreams. Know this because God knows this for you. God knows this about you. Know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Let's prepare for our meditation. So I do invite you, we're going to have a little song. So I invite you to sing this song as we begin to prepare ourselves to enter into our meditation.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is blessing to the world.
So I do invite you now I want you to look at the screen. Leo, if you put that up. This is one of the most beautiful and profound Hindu scriptures found in the Bhagavad Gita, or the Song of God. It came to me just recently. And I feel like this piece of scripture is an ongoing invitation of our first principle to see the truth. So this is what is written. And when you see me in all, and see all in me, then I never leave you, and you never leave me. And you who in this oneness of love loves me, and whatever you see, wherever you may live, in truth, you live in me. So I invite you to just, if you're comfortable doing so, just close your eyes and listen to the music in the background. And just allow yourself to totally, completely relax in your seat. And as we relax, we let go of any thoughts that might be in our minds that are constantly popping up. If they pop up, we just let them go. We have no need to grab hold of any thought that pops up, and we allow ourselves to just be fully present right here, right now. So we open our hearts and we open our minds to the presence of Spirit right here, right now. And when you see me in all, and see all in me, then I never leave you, and you never leave me. And you who in this oneness of love loves me, in whatever you see, wherever you may live, in truth you live in me. So let us, with those thoughts, with that prayer, enter into the silence for just a little. friends, you are a blessing to the world. So we just open our hearts and we open our minds to that presence, to that guidance that's always here for us as we go forth this week to be the blessing that we are. And so it is. Amen.
Wanted to sit there and just take it all in. It was a lovely feel. Thank you so much for, that focusing on these principles. It's really easy to lose track. So I appreciate the message. So thank you. And of course, thank you, Angelica. You always pick out the perfect music to go with the talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
And thank you, Leo, for your help over there.
Thank you, Leo.
Thank you. So, at this time, let us take to heart our vision, mission, and statement of being, which is shown on the screen.
We have a global vision. Will you please speak it with me? Our vision is a
world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And we have a sacred mission. Will you say that with me? We inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world.
And we have a personal statement of being. Will you say that with me, please?
I am a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good to radiate that good to all. And we have some announcements, and I think I'll get this out of your way.
Oh, yes.
I forgot to do that. And actually, we have more than a few announcements. We have quite a bit going on.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
It's exciting.
All right. So today at 12:30, I will be facilitating our new member orientation class, and we have a number of people. How many of you here that are going to be taking the class? There's one, there's two, there's three. That's great. Wonderful.
Yes.
Yes.
Very nice.
We're delighted. So that's going to be, and anybody can come. It'll be at 12:30. It'll be in here. I have a PowerPoint presentation of about unity, the history of unity, and our principles. And so that'll be here at 12:30. And you're welcome, even if you're already a member. But if you'd like to brush up on your unity history, then come and join us. And then also, I do want to say that the fall spirit groups are beginning. They're starting soon. ISIS in the Bible with Claudio here is already going. And are you going to be taking a break? Nope, just going right straight through. Okay, great. So ISIS in the Bible, that is on Wednesdays, 3:33 to 5 p.m. And then Sharing Wisdom is on, well, she just put the dates here. On Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m. And then Spiritual Laws of Higher Awareness is the September the 27th. Beginning September 27th is 1 to 3. And Transformed by Truth is 1:30 to 3 on the 27th as well. And then Finding the 5 Principles of Unity, wonderfully represented in the poetry of Hafiz. I know one person would be probably very much interested in that. So they're going to be looking at the 5 principles through the poetry of Hafiz, and that's November the 27th as well, 1 to 2:30. Anyway, all that information and descriptions and everything will be in our next newsletter. They should be on a link should be on our website as well.
Yeah, some of those start in October and end in
That's
November.
right.
Yeah, so please check out the details. So we're going to announce the imminent launch of a Self-Compassion, a Gentle online course. This is a 12-week online book study going from October 3rd to December 19th, 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom. Using a small breakout room format, this hands-on course will engage you in doing inner work, designed to heal your inner critic. Week by week, the course will take up a new chapter in Kristen Neff's experiential workbook on self-compassion. If you're interested, you'll need to pre-register on the Facebook events link, and you can see the newsletter for the link. Okay?
Okay, and we're also excited to announce our Windsor's first annual wellness fair, and that's going to be on November the 12th from 10 until 4. That's on a Sunday. We will, instead of having our regular service, we will be having the fair from 10 to 4. We have speakers throughout the day. We have music throughout the day. We have vendors. And this is a big thing. I mean, this is our first one, and we need volunteers. So talk with me or talk to Claudio about what needs to be done. And we have things for you to do. So we need some volunteers, and we appreciate you.
So we're not having a service that day?
No,
just going
it
to
won't be a
okay,
regular service,
got
no.
it. Right. So next Sunday, September 24th, Reverend David will present a fresh look at the second unity principle, who are you? And as well, on Sunday, October 1st, from 11:30 to 12:30, there's going to be a day of gratitude, and we'll be having a Thanksgiving brunch that day. And so there's sign-up sheets upstairs, so please sign up and welcome.
Yeah, it's going to be our Thanksgiving potluck. We always have one. We always have a potluck at the first Sunday of every month, but this will be the Thanksgiving one, so it'll probably be a much bigger. So anyway, you're all welcome. Invite people. So I also want to remind you that our prayer chaplain, Susan Fabro, right back here, she is available for prayer right after the service upstairs. Okay.
All of our classes, programs, and services are made possible by your generous donations. Our heartfelt thanks for your continuous support. We've created many easy ways to donate, which you can find on our website. So we really appreciate your generosity. Thank you.
And for those of you here, our love offering box is right there at the entrance as you come in from the foyer, and you can drop off any of your love offerings or donations there. And again, you make this all happen, and we are very appreciative of all that you do. Not just your funds, but your time and your talent and your treasure. We are so blessed to have the volunteers that we have, so thank you all.
Yes, it wouldn't be the same without
It
your
would not.
contribution, so thank you. Right now, I'd like you to all stand up, and let's open our hearts and minds in gratitude as we close with the love offering prayer, the peace song, and the prayer of protection.
Divine love in me and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us.
I am light.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am love.
The power of God protects us.
I am power.
And the presence of God watches over us.
I am present.
present.
And wherever we are, God is.
I am divine.
And my friends, you truly are. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And please join us upstairs for refreshments and conversation. Thank you for
Thank you,
being
everybody.
here.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanne.
Get ready.